There's a lot of hype and curiosity about WL Toys out there. HBX too. One of the most common questions I get is, do I like HBX or WL Toys better? HBX is the short name for the brand Hyboxing, and they make some awesome cars. People ask me to compare them to WL Toys because I have quite a few HBX cars. I think you'll find this video helpful and entertaining. I just ask that you hit that thumbs up button for me real quick. HBX makes all their cars relatively the same, but there are a lot of design differences and of course electronics differences. This one right here is actually pretty much the exact same car except for the body, a very minor difference in suspension, and I have put larger wheels on it because that actually adds to the handling quite a bit. This one has also been fully upgraded as far as metal driveline and oil-filled shocks. Even their larger scale cars are built somewhat the same, with a few differences, of course. That's our mini rock crawler. Truthfully, both of these cars kind of have different purposes. So this video should help you decide which one of these would be best for you. And that doesn't have to be specifically for these exact models. That can go for any of the buggy style WL Toys or almost any of the HBXs. But since the size between these two is very similar, I'm going to do a comparison on the 16889A and the WL Toys 144001. They both have very similar price points, and they're both completely stock, except for this one I've added some straps to help keep the body clips from getting lost, and this one has aluminum front lower control arms. And of course this one had a little bit of trouble. We will actually see this carnage in this video. Now this is a brushed motor and this one is brushless, but it came with the plastic drive axles and the friction shocks. They also make the Pro version, the 16889A Pro. It comes with the metal drivetrain, metal differential gears, and also the oil-filled shocks, plus a slightly larger motor. We actually have one of those on order. But as far as speed goes, these both perform about the same. Both brands have the choice of either brushed or brushless in a lot of their cars. That way you can choose the right car for what you're trying to get out of it, and also depending on what your budget is. Now, we run our cars pretty hard here at Derby City RC. We're gonna put these through some pretty extreme conditions, so this will give you a really good idea of how they perform and how they will or won't work well for you. The way we've designed this video is that each one of these cars is gonna be on the type of terrain that they thrive on the most. Somewhat anyway. So depending on the type of area that you'd be running these in, this video should help you make the decision on which one of these you want. And you really may decide that you want them both, or neither. We're gonna run both of these really hard so that you can get a good impression of what they can and what they cannot handle. And at the end of this video, we'll assess the damage and we'll go over final thoughts and help you decide which car you think would be best. If you do decide that you want to get one of these, I'll have links to both of them in the description of this video. First thing first though, last time we had this truck out, little Maxwell broke a rear wheel cup and the axle fell out. So we're gonna replace that wheel cup real quick so we can run this thing on four-wheel drive. We're using the wheel cup that we got out of our 16890 because this one we've upgraded to full metal driveline. So this is just a spare part we had. This one is now ready.
And Zippy's ready?
Front flip 180. Oh. No way, that was perfect air control.
This is my first perfect front flip. Leave a like on this video.
I need knuckles on that one. Nice. Yeah. Oh no! Nice. Oh! Those shocks bounce too much. Oh! Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. The trigger. Oh. Whoa. Ouch. Now that was a body test. That was a back flapper right to the body. We'll look. Oh. Hello. No one ever says hi to me when they walk by. Oh. You have boogers and slobber on your face. Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, that was cool. Wow. I think the shape of this car just makes it fly. This remote does not have very good range. You gotta be able to just backflip. Man. Nice. Zippy's taking it all and loving every second of it. Oh. Nope. Whoa! Whoa, no! That was nuts. It still landed it too. That was an RC car doing a kickflip. If you don't believe me, go back and watch it again. I think I actually have knuckles at home. I think I have metal ones. Well, that's it for the 144001. She's gonna get fitted with some aluminum knuckles now. So the visual point I was trying to get across was that you're going to have the better handling with the WL Toys because it sits lower to the ground and it has a really low center of gravity because of this metal chassis that sits so low. Even with the brushed motor, it's got great acceleration, but it may break a little too easy for jumping if you decide you want to do that. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. The HBX really thrives in the jumping conditions. The only thing that broke were both rear body posts, and they're actually still stuck on the body. But anyway, these cars are crazy durable, but they don't have the handling that this car does. Even this one that has the oil-filled shocks does not handle like this. Trying to do turns at high speeds will usually end up rolling, and then even jumping. Even though this one really isn't made for jumping, this one lands them and takes them much better than this does, partly because it bounces so much. The oil-filled shocks do help a little bit on this one with that, but it still does have trouble landing because it has a short wheelbase and it does not have the low center of gravity that this one does. But when it comes to durability, this one absolutely blows the WL Toys out of the water. This one has really brittle plastic. That's why it's got the aluminum control arms in the front, because we broke the original front ones pretty quickly when they were still plastic. So it is, of course, the knuckle that broke. Here's the part on the wheel. Luckily, I actually have aluminum knuckles to replace. I'm not a huge believer in using aluminum parts on suspension, but knuckles, I think, is one place that it definitely helps more than it hurts. Control arms, I usually don't think aluminum is a good idea, but on these, the plastic stock ones are very brittle, and so far they've been really good. A hard enough impact on one will definitely cause issues, but luckily we've been okay so far. Battery life is definitely much better in the HBX, in part because it has the brushless motor. It's also quite a bit lighter. The battery does not last very long in this car. You can get a version of this car where the battery tray is actually a lot bigger and it comes with a larger battery, but you can actually adjust this battery tray using these two bolt holes, and that way it would accommodate a larger battery. But here's a great battery that lasts a little bit longer. I know sometimes this car even comes with those larger batteries, but if you don't have those, this battery works perfect in it. I use this battery in a lot of our cars, so it's seen a lot of crashes, and it's still going strong. I'll put a link in the description for it. Another thing I'm not too happy about, though, is that two of the shocks are leaking oil. This front right one and this rear left one. The wing broke, but this thing's super flimsy. I knew that wouldn't last very long. Again, this thing's not made for jumping, but I just can't help myself. And the next time we run this thing, we're gonna go even crazier with it. I have some pretty awesome plans for this car. One thing that I like about these WL Toys is they have their clips going in from the side. So we have yet to lose any of these clips. This one, we had to put these straps on it because they get lost very easily. But even with those straps, they still get bent out of shape and stop working almost every time we run them. So a lot of times that doesn't even help with this car. Some of you may remember that this is one of the body shells that we reinforced. So I'll do a quick update on that. This was our method number 2. We used shoe goo without any type of additional backing to see if we could reinforce this body. I've taken this out a few times since then, and it has held up extremely well. Now after this video, there are a few little cracks starting to form around the rear body post holes. However, those cracks did not seem to carry through to the actual shoe goo, so they're still holding really well, and it probably will still last quite a long time. I do think that the 16889A and the 16890 are the two most resilient, unbreakable cars that we have. Obviously, that's in part because they're smaller, they weigh less, and they also aren't quite as fast, so they don't fly quite as high and quite as far. On the other end of the spectrum, the WL Toys is probably the one that breaks the most. But again, this is not built for what we use it for. I hope you found this video informative. I also hope it was entertaining in the process. If so, we'd love it if you'd hit that thumbs up button for us. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one very shortly. Those actually were Max's first perfect front flips. He's been working on those for a while, so send him some words of encouragement in the comments and hit the like button for him. We both appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching.